Hi, my name is Feminism Kim, and today I'm going to do two gender talk videos because I had two different things that I want to talk about this week. For this one I want to talk about TERFs and their lack of logic about gender. TERF, by the way, stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist, which I believe is something of a misnomer because I would dispute the idea that they are radical about anything. I may be wrong about this. I've not read many feminist books, to be honest. But to me the term radical feminism would involve a radical critique of the very idea of gender itself, and a commitment to tearing the whole edifice of gender down for the liberty and empowerment of all. But TERFs seem almost conservative in their whole concept of gender. Mostly TERFs want to state that trans women are really men, and that trans men are really women, but the target of most of their hatred is trans women, who they claim are appropriating female identities and infiltrating women-only spaces. They are also incredibly rude to trans women and have been known to out trans women to their employers, etc. Horrendously cruel and bullying behaviour. Some of them also oppose medical care for trans women, such as hormone therapy and gender reassignment surgery, though others claim they do not oppose such procedures but merely oppose the identification of trans women as women. The idea that trans women are appropriating female identities seems strange to me, considering how expectations of female beauty standards are often also criticised by them. I can't help but think if you don't want it, then why deny it to someone who does? Also, could I criticise butch lesbians for appropriating aspects of male appearance? After all, as someone assigned male at birth, but with various gender variant cross-gender feelings, that boyish or manly appearance code is also something that I've found to be limiting and oppressive in my own personal experience. So seeing others enjoy masculinity as something they've chosen for themselves rather than something imposed on them by others could potentially be offensive to someone such as myself. Isn't that exactly the same argument as theirs, but the other way around? Of course, I really feel that lesbians, and trans men for that matter, are welcome to enjoy masculinity just as I enjoy femininity, because I can understand that when one gender expression is forced upon you, then the other gender expression can feel wonderfully liberating. I only wish these TERFs could extend the same courtesy. As for their main argument, that trans women are not women, they seem to be basing this on several fallacies. Firstly, they claim that the correct definition of whether someone is a man or a woman is their biological sex. The genitals, sex characteristics, and I guess chromosomes that the person was born with. They claim that those facets are what makes someone a man or a woman, and that the rest of it is a sexist system of socially constructed stereotypes and roles. But if gender is biological only, then why do they not consider the brain to be part of that biology? If gender is biological, then can't the brain also have gender? Why is it so hard for them to conceive that the brain could have developed differently to the body? And why so reluctant to accept the scientific evidence that seems to suggest this? If, however, gender is socially constructed, and moreover a negative sexist force in society, then it would follow that what we all need to do is to throw gendered signifiers and expectations out the window and let everyone be themselves. This would involve everyone dressing like and behaving like however they wish, with no expectations of roles where gender is concerned. Gender wouldn't exist, only biological sex, which, since it would not affect anything except reproduction and medical matters, would become a medical curiosity only. Well, we wouldn't even refer to people as women or men anymore, just people, some of whom have penises and some of whom have vaginas. So the argument against trans women would become moot. Maybe some people would still wish to change their physical anatomy, but there would be no men or women anymore, and nothing would even be considered masculine or feminine, just people doing whatever they've got to do. Yet rather than suggesting a genderless utopia, TERFs instead choose to obsess over what genitals someone has, and make the simple association of penis equals man and vagina equals woman. They don't want to do away with sexist oppressive gender in society at all. They just want to impose it on people according to what genitals they have. Like I said, not radical, downright conservative. Another claim they make is that male socialisation is what makes trans women men, and why it bothers them so much when trans women enter female-only spaces. But if this socialisation is such a problem, then surely the attempt to undo this socialisation, to reach towards some other way of being, dare I say a better way of being, would be exactly the sort of thing you should be championing. Isn't that exactly what trans women and non-binary males are doing? If male socialisation is the problem you have with trans women, then how else can someone born male rehabilitate themselves and become a better person other than by trying to reprogram themselves and become a woman? It seems they view anyone who owns a penis to be a potential sexist, a potential rapist even when they are so disconnected from their penis that the last thing they would want to do is penetrate someone with it, even when they have estrogenized their penis to the point that it won't even function that way anymore. And most ridiculously of all, even when they have had surgery to turn their penis and balls into a clitoris, labia and vagina. I would ask all TERFs to ask themselves the following questions. If gender is defined purely as biological sex, then why do you not consider the brain of the person to be part of that definition? If gender is socially constructed, then why are you not working towards a deconstruction of gender in all aspects of society, following which the terms man and woman would become meaningless and redundant, and everyone would be able to be themselves, dress however they like, and form whatever roles in society and in their relationships that they like? Doesn't that make all forms of gender identity suspect, including cisgender identities? Doesn't that make all forms of gender variant expression and behaviour equally valid? What are you doing towards that goal other than bullying trans women? Why are you so focused on trans women and not on everybody else too? And finally, if the male gender identity and male socialisation are such a massive problem for you, then why are you taking out all your hatred on trans women and other gender variant people born male, when these are the only people born with penises who are actually challenging that problematic identity and socialisation and trying to undo it? It seems that TERFs are the most logically flawed and oppressively conservative of all feminists. They don't deserve the adjective radical at all, and they don't make any sense at all. Come back when you have something rational to say. Thanks for watching.